Hey everybody, welcome to the kitchen. Today we are doing a once a month meal prep. Now, I want to give the caveat before we even get started. I don't do meals maybe like your typical meal prepper. We're not big into casseroles. We don't do a lot of pre-making of meats and all of that because we really like to eat things fresh. So I'm going to do everything I can so that when it comes time to make a meal in the week, in the month, I have everything ready to go. Peppers and onions and jalapeños, all that stuff that can be chopped up. Also, I'm going to be making all of our breakfasts. Now, if you're coming here hoping for burritos and egg quiches and whatevers, that's not our family. I couldn't get my kids to eat that even if I wanted to. But we do like waffles and pancakes and muffins and sourdough bread. So I'm going to be putting together all of those things so that we can be ready. And today I'm just going to be prepping to prep. So I want to get everything organized, all the flours and the sugars mixed and everything like that so that tomorrow, when it's like the baking time and me and this oven become one and that stove and I become one, I have everything ready to go. So that's what you're coming along for right now, because most likely I'm going to be up at the crack of dawn, like 4:30, 5 o'clock tomorrow, getting this going. So we might as well get started now so it doesn't take over our life. But I'm really excited to get started. I'll show you all the things. We'll have a great time. Let's get it done. Can we make some hot cocoa first? This is gonna be a hot cocoa mix that I'm gonna make. The kids love hot chocolate, and as fall is approaching, our hearts are saying, please, something warm and cozy, and I will oblige. So I have a mix that I'm gonna make, and I got a jar from the grocery store the other day. Let's put it together, come on. A jar, cocoa, sugar, and a little dash of salt. I'm gonna make this as much as we'll fill this beautiful jar, and then we'll label it because that's fun, right? Let's do it. I'm using Hershey's cocoa, and I'm using the recipe on the back, favorite hot chocolate, because the kids love it. It's their favorite hot chocolate. If you have not tried the recipes on the back of the Hershey container, let me be the first to tell you, they're amazing. We got the cake back there, which is perfect. It's even called that on the back of this. Perfectly chocolate cake, and I would agree. The frosting is amazing. The cocoa, beautiful. Let's start with quadrupling it. I'm very certain I can fit more, but I want to be sure, you know? Kidding, I quadruple. I quadruple times 2, that's what I did, 4 times. Okay, there's 4 cups of sugar. 2 cups total of cocoa. And then we're gonna need 8 pinches. Ready? Let's pop the lid on. And then we shake it, don't break it. Took your mama 9 months to make it. And then the day we wanna make it, milk, vanilla, and a little bit of hot water, and the world tastes good. Labeling time. Do you like to say hot cocoa or hot chocolate? Is there a difference? I don't know. I'm gonna go for hot cocoa. Labels, beauty. And I've been having this kind of like obsession with putting it up and down like this. I don't really know why, I just think it's fun. Cute, I like it. Done. Let's welcome our newest contestants to the show. Here we go. We're gonna put together everything for the pumpkin chocolate chip muffins. If you have been around for any length of time, you know the obsession we all have with these muffins. And so we're going to be making them. Recipe in the box below. It's easy, but we're just gonna do the dry ingredients today, and then tomorrow we'll whip it up. I even bought more pans, more cupcake pans, just so that we can do a bunch at one time. And I thought, I'm pretty brilliant, not gonna lie. Okay, I'm using this container right here to hold up said bag. That way, it's a lot easier to put all of our ingredients in there. Look at that, brilliant, right? I'm gonna be quadrupling this recipe, are you ready? The real question is, am I ready? Because I'm the one that has to do it, but I think I'm ready. Do I think it's gonna fit? No. Am I the queen of making it work, even though I don't think it'll work? Yes. Sugar for days, here we go. All right, brown sugar. I don't think we need this bowl anymore, what do you think? It's gonna fit, how great is that? See, I knew it was gonna all work out. Didn't I tell you? Now we need the baking soda. Some salt to make the world taste good. 8 teaspoons of cinnamon's going in here, but let me get my big thing of cinnamon. One teaspoon of nutmeg and ground clove. I'm not even gonna worry about mixing this bag up. I'm only gonna worry about labeling it because tomorrow when we get to mix them, it'll be mixed. So that's the end of this guy. We'll get the air out. Let's label him so we don't get confused. I got this box at Aldi yesterday. I kind of thought, we'll just shove everything in there and keep it happy and together. Next up, chocolate chip cookies, because we're not gonna buy a bunch of little desserty things. We're gonna make our own and have it in the freezer ready to go. And I'm going to pre-cook them. I think that would be a good idea. I kind of toyed around with the idea of leaving it as dough, freezing that. I think I'm just gonna make them all up. It'll be easier at the beginning of the day. We just throw some in the fridge. They can defrost or they can put them in the microwave for a couple seconds. Yes. Doubling this recipe, I am using the Toll House chocolate chip cookies because I believe that it is the best way. Let's do what we did last time. Use our little stand here. Bada bing, bada bacon, baby. 4.5 cups of flour. Here we go. Baking soda, as per usual. Salt. I have to beat the sugar in with the butter tomorrow when I do this, so I'm gonna put those in a separate bag. I will label this guy that this is the flour mixture, flour mix choc cookies. Then let's do the sugar part for those as well. So it's brown sugar and granulated sugar both, and we're going to be doing double, like I already talked about. Here is the sugar mixture. What I'll also grab out are some sticks of butter. That way that they are already softened, since I do keep ours in the fridge, and then we don't have to worry about that at all. So this is the sugar mix for choc cookies. Okay, and then how much butter? So much butter. 4 sticks total. We'll just take the whole thing out. Okay, stick it in our box. Boom. That is done, my friends. How about oatmeal chocolate chip cookies? Yes. This one's gonna take a lot of bags, so we're gonna really have to keep our brain focused. Okay, let's do all the dry ingredients. First, we got more flour. 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. 2 teaspoons of salt. So that's gonna be it for the dry ingredients. Then we're gonna add the sugars together because we are going to mix that with the butter. Where is my labeler? There he is. Come here, cutie. Now we need a sugar combo. We're doubling it. Okay. Sugar mixture. Dunno bunno. This is gonna take 6 cups of oats, and this is where it gets real crazy. All right, here we go. Count them out. We got 1. We got 2. We got 3. Thank goodness I bought more. We got 4, 5, and 6. Chocolate chips for days. You ready? A lot of chocolate chips are going into this now. Here we go. We gotta open everything up. Okay. We got 1, 2, 3.5. Wow. Nobody's mad about that many chocolate chips, are they? No. It's very clear to me that this is oats and chocolate chips, but you know what? I might lose my mind between now and tomorrow, or I may have already lost it, so it's good to label it, you know what I'm saying? We also need to get out some butter, because that needs to be softened to room temperature. I need 4 more sticks of butter. My goal tomorrow is to be as efficient as humanly possible. So while one thing's going, I'm working on something else. I'm doing the tango, the kitchen tango, and I think it's gonna be awesome. I do hear the baby crying, so un momento, por favor. This is half homemade. I am doing King Arthur's gluten-free all-purpose baking mix. I am making the waffles on the back, and I'm making the pancakes. The kids love them, and I'm gonna put them in the freezer, to save them for whenever they're ready for them. You can either heat them up a little bit in the microwave, put them in the toaster, easy peasy. They prefer this over Eggo waffles, so I decided instead of making it all the time, we'll just freeze it. For a while they didn't really like how it was frozen, but I think it was my fault. I was overdoing it a little bit. Anyway, I'm gonna be making a lot. I'm a little bit scared, to be quite honest. The rest of it is all wet ingredients, so I will just have that ready to go tomorrow. The last thing I'm gonna do is put together all the flour for sourdough. I make 2 loaves every week, and I think I'm gonna be putting some together tomorrow to bake on Sunday. My sister is going to college, and I want her to have a loaf before she leaves because it's just so tasty. So let's put that together. Since I'm at it, I might as well fill up a couple things. Let's add some sugar to our container. I bought a 25-pound bag yesterday, so we're not gonna run out. I have just a little bit of brown sugar left in the bag. How about the baking soda? Should we fill that one up too? Yes. This is your reminder right now. If you need to put some baking soda in your fridge to help with smell, now's your time. Change the box out, get a little cup, put some in there. Today's your day. All right, so 4 bags worth. I'm gonna use my bread flour, my whole wheat flour, and I will use my scale here and measure all of that out. Whole wheat flour. There's 1. Since I'm working on it, I'm going to get my starter out of the fridge and let it come to room temperature. We'll feed it and it'll be ready tomorrow. There's 2. We got 1 more. There's 3. There's 4. Okay, we're done with all the baked stuff, prepping, and then tomorrow we're gonna do the, the main meal stuff, veggies and all of that kind of stuff we're gonna prep tomorrow. So come on back now, you hear? And it's gonna be good. We're gonna start really early. We're gonna get it done, and it's gonna make things delicious. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye. Good morning. Yep, totally got up at the crack of dawn for this. So first things first, want to go ahead and put together my sourdough bread for the day. This is going to take all day to do its thing. There's going to be stretch and folds. There's going to be mixing, all the good stuff. And you know how much I love doing my sourdough. So check out the videos. I've got a starter video. I have my artisan loaf that I make every single week. I have one that's even easier than that. So I would suggest you try the artisan loaf because it's so tasty, but that's just me. Muffin time, yes. Now I have got to say that prepping things is like the key to survival when it comes to making massive amounts of food. When I've had to do things for the James Project and I'm cooking for a lot of people, or I'm getting ready for like a big gathering, Thanksgiving, people coming over for birthday stuff, whatever, as much prepping as I can do makes the world go round. You know what I'm saying? How many of you are big into prepping and making sure that you're all ready? Or do you just wing it and you're like, you know what, day of, we're going to just do what we do? Some people, I think, have later parties, like later in the night, just so that they can do it all in one day. I don't know. I do want to say this about sourdough. So actually, one of the best ways to store sourdough is in your freezer. Of course, if you're not going to eat it right away, store it in your freezer sliced. So once you make your sourdough, you let it cool completely. Then you cut it. You can put little pieces of kind of that waxy paper in between, parchment paper, whatever. Put it in a bag, throw it in your freezer. Then you can toast it. You can heat it up in the oven for like 350 degrees for maybe, 5 minutes. But you do want to make sure that it comes to room temperature and it's not frozen anymore when you heat it up in the oven, because take it from me, of course, I have to try everything the hard way, and it just doesn't defrost as well as you would hope. Now it's time to talk about all the things that I'm going to be making food-wise. I mean, all the things are food, but there's the breakfast things, there's the baking things, the bread, but like, what are the meals that we're having? So we really are not a casserole people. We're not like a big freeze a bunch of stuff that's already put together. We really are like meat, potatoes, veggies, sides kind of people. So how was I going to make this still work for us? And that is by just prepping the things that I know can go in the freezer and still taste exactly the same. Doesn't necessarily have to be mixed. So I am cutting up all the peppers. Let me tell you what's on the list for this month. We're having beef and broccoli. We're having Peruvian chicken fajitas, we're having tacos, we're having pork carnitas tacos and meatballs. We're going to be doing some salad and chicken, but I'm not going to prep that. You are going to see me like put all the food items in bags and separate them out from the large containers that I got from Sam's Club and the grocery store. But I want to meal prep in ways that are going to help our family, but at the same time, like honoring the style of eating that we have. And so if you're not big into doing a bunch of, tater tot casseroles or stuffed peppers or all those kinds of things, there are other ways to just help make your days easier and better and faster, but then not like losing all the goodness that you love about like fresh cooking and all of that. So in between cutting things, we're also taking muffins out and we're putting them on the cooling rack, and I'm going to let those cool completely before I put them into the freezer. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong. If you love casseroles, oh my gosh, like do it 100% and don't worry about us. It's just the style of eating that we have, and it's not better, it's not worse, it's just what it is. So I do want to cut up everything that I can, whether it be onions and peppers, jalapeños, anything that I feel like really will do well in the freezer. I am cutting that up and it looks so pretty. Oh, I'm also making Tex-Mex. So everything's going to be in the description box if you're interested in recipes and kind of how to put it all together. Tex-Mex is amazing because it's a one-pan wonder, although I do it slightly different from the recipe. It talks about, putting your chicken under the broiler too. And I've just found that it dries it out a little too much. So I do cook that separately with seasoning and it's delicious. But everything else, the peppers, the onions, tomatoes, and jalapeños, I put them under the broiler and get them a nice little char on them. Oh, they're going to be so good. So really thinly slicing up these peppers for the chicken fajitas. I'm going to do like more of a square pieces for the beef and broccoli. Those peppers are going to be more square-like, as well as the onions. They're going to mimic, either the fajita style or the beef and broccoli style. We do a lot of meals multiple times. And I think one thing that people often say is, it doesn't look like enough food. So we are really careful about how much we make in that we don't do leftovers. I know it's shocking. I've talked about this before, and it's totally fine if you do leftovers. We try to cook so that we're eating just enough for one meal. And that means sometimes you get extra sides or something fresh to kind of make sure that there's enough for everybody. But my kids are not big dinner eaters and we are fairly light when it comes to dinner. So for us, it really works and it makes a lot of sense. And sometimes my kids are a little on the picky side, although they are getting better and better as the days go on. They're just more adventurous, trying all sorts of things. We had a friend, she's from China, and we have an Asian store in our area, and also some different things that she got from China, like snacks that are very different from what we eat, and they were willing to try them, which made this mama's heart happy. They were interesting little flavors and treats, so there's lots of exploration still going on. I'm super happy about that, of course, but anyway, that's kind of something that I think confuses people when they're like, how come you don't have massive amounts of food for 7 people? And it's just because we don't eat massive amounts of food, especially at dinner time. So interestingly enough, back in the day, I used to nanny for a family. They now have 8 children, but at the time, I think they had 5 or 6. And the dad got into a bicycling accident. He was a cyclist, and he flew off his bike. His chain got caught up, and he had a lot of issues. He was in the hospital for a long time. People were amazing, and they were bringing food every single day for the family, and they were bringing massive amounts of food thinking, okay, there's a lot of kids here, and then people that were caring for them, they all need to eat. But I'm telling you, like, they wouldn't have even gotten through a third of the amount of food that was brought to them. So I think it's like a somewhat of a misconception how much food we really eat, and the more that you pay attention to things that get wasted or things that don't get eaten, you might notice that it's true for your family as as well. Now, that's not true for everybody. Like, I have a friend whose kids are just big eaters at dinner time, and so they make a good amount of food, and it makes sense for their family. So all I'm saying is that, you know, honor your family and the way that they eat, the kind of things that they eat, and that way you're hopefully reducing your waste. And if you love leftovers and you're using that for, you know, meals down the road, or you're using that for a lunch the next day, whatever, that's awesome. I think it's amazing. And I think if I could do that, I would do that. So more power to you. Your way is awesome. Go for it. Hi, Mama. Thank you. The troops have awakened. Look. Hi. Good morning. You want a muffin? Yeah. Let's chat, folks. How are you? The troops are awake, so now we're gonna get talking. Let's finish up these jalapeños, chop them up, put them in the bag for the freezer. That way when I need them, I'll just, you know, crinkle them up, pour them out. Life is good. And of course, we will label this guy, make sure he's right as the rain.
No casseroles.
No.
No stuffed peppers.
No, we don't do that around here. Green onions. I'm gonna separate the whites from the greens and freeze them separately, and do the same thing like the jalapeños. You know, when you want some, you crinkle up the bag and pour it out. It's gonna be heaven.
I think onions smell good.
I think onions smell good too.
Could I smell it? Yeah. So like clearly it only smells like pepper.
These are going on the tray for the Tex-Mex.
Okay, maybe it's a little spicy, but no.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut two different kinds of onion sizes. One's gonna be like the chunks. That's gonna be for the beef and broccoli. And then we'll do one or two for the chicken fajitas that are thinner. These are some serious onions. My eyes are burning. I haven't had that happen in a long time. Onions. Let's get the Tex-Mex under the broiler. I have to cut up some tomatoes and then it should be ready to go. I have a good seasoning. I'll sprinkle over the top of this. Let's do that. All right, watch this, super easy. Olive oil. We're gonna salt everything up really good. Pepper it all really good. About a teaspoon of oregano. Shake it, don't break it. Took your mama 9 months to make it. Right, Z?
No.
No. Okay, cumin. This will be about half a teaspoon. And then chili powder, about a teaspoon of that as well. You're gonna just give everybody a little handshake here. Okay, now we're gonna stick it under the broiler for like 4 minutes each side or so. And then we'll let it cool down, we'll blend it up, and we'll put it in the freezer. Currently, I'm waiting on the broiler just to do its thing here for a second. I'm gonna get the ground beef out for the tacos, and I'm going to start cooking that up. Okay, 4 minutes. Okay, let's cook this guy. I'm not gonna do the seasoning on it or anything. I'm just going to cook it up. Meat's doing its thing. Let's stretch and fold our dough again. I'm gonna do a window pane test. If it doesn't break like that, it's done, but it broke, so another 30 minutes. Timer just went off for the broiler. Woo, it's gonna get good in here. So we just want to flip everything over. Oh, I got it. Okay, put it in there for another 3 to 4 minutes. All right, those guys are done. We'll let them cool down and then we'll blend it all up. The ground beef is just about done, like another minute or so. But in the meantime, I really want to do a quick like kitchen refresh here, pack up the muffins because I think they're all cooled down. And I did leave them in the pans because they just need like a little bit longer to cook. So I thought, you know what, we'll just leave them and they'll be happy and fine. So that's good. So we're letting the Tex-Mex cool down. We're finishing up the ground beef. We're gonna put away all of the muffins. Then we are going to wipe everything down and refresh, pour more coffee, knock out some more stuff. You ready? Okay. We're back for round two. We had about a 2-minute break, but I did get coffee. I went potty, so that's good. We're gonna blend up our Tex-Mex veggies for the little sauce we're gonna make that we can freeze. Then we're going to cook up some ground pork. While that's cooking, we're gonna put together the meatballs. Marcus is going to help dry dishes, put them away. Isn't that sweet? And I ran all the way here from the other side of the house.
I'm gonna be the dishwasher.
I need you. We got a lot of dishes, don't we?
Yep.
All right. Okay, Mr. Ninja is coming out. This thing is fantastic. If you're looking for a blender, this is the professional 1100W watt. Peppers. So many flavors.
Wow, you want to
Boom.
smoothie?
Bag it up. Freeze it.
Smoothie?
This would be a very strange smoothie if it was a smoothie, Joe.
What is it?
This is for chicken. It's like a sauce.
Ew, cuts of berries.
No, there's no berries.
What's in it?
Oh, peppers and tomatoes and jalapeños and onions.
Ew.
Yeah, definitely no berries in there. Ugh. Stick the ground beef in the bowl. It is cooled down. And now I'm gonna cook up that pork, ground pork. All right, ground pork, it's doing its thing. This needs a little more time to cool down. Marky's working it over there with those dishes. Get it? Meatball time. Betty Crocker, that's how I make my meatballs, how I've been doing it forever today, and it's just good. It's just good. I actually mix 2 recipes together to make it because I like my meatballs to be very flavorful. Breadcrumbs, salt, teaspoon of basil, teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of dried marjoram, not to be confused with margarine, pepper, W sauce. I'm not even going to attempt to say it, so don't make me. My hands are definitely growing weary from constant washing, so I'm going to get, these are food grade gloves. Especially when you're working with meat, it's nice to just throw these little puppies on and not have to worry about it. I'm going to do a garlic clove, some milk, and an egg. I'm going to skip the onion. We actually don't really enjoy the onion in there. It's just a little much. But if you like it, you do it. This is my new favorite way to do garlic. I just grate it. Egg. A little bit of milk. And we're going to tell who's boss. In case you were wondering, I'd be boss. I'm using this little cookie type scoop and making just as many as it'll give me, usually like 20 to 25. But I keep them a bit on the smaller side. This is good for meatball subs or spaghetti and meatballs. Meatballs by themselves. Just all the ways. All right, now we add a sauce. We add a jar of sauce. We put a lid on it, and then I'll stick it in the oven 20 minutes, and then I'll just let it cool, and I'll put it in the freezer. let's just be really clear. Can we have a moment of honesty? I'm terrible at asking for help. I always feel bad, but I'm getting a lot better at it. Marcus offered to help me. And at first I was like, I don't need any help. And then I was like, yeah, I do. So him cleaning all that up is super helpful. Be sure to ask for help, okay? I gotta make room in the refrigerator for my oatmeal chocolate chip cookie dough because it needs to sit in there for about an hour, but I don't have any room. So I am going to portion out all the meat so I can put it in the freezer, and that's what we're doing next. Chicken for days.
Stars in your eyes, I know it from the way you make me feel so alive. Like I'm up on a mountainside, gazing at the night sky, but I'm just looking at the stars in your eyes. Stars in your eyes. No, I don't believe it. Every time I see it, it takes me by surprise. Your perfect light is shining on.
Freezer. The what? No, I haven't gotten there yet. First I gotta do up this meat, and then once this meat's done, I'm gonna start putting together the cookies. More gloves.
I can make cookies.
I am, yeah.
You just have to take a meat and then she'll get started.
See it, and whenever I see you, my heart beats like crazy. Yeah, 'cause you got stars in your eyes. I know it from the way you make me feel so alive. Like I'm up on a mountainside, gazing at the night sky, but I'm just looking at the stars in your eyes. You're like supernova, a beautiful explosion. Might get burned if I get close, but I'm down to hold you. Send me to outer space, and I'm counting constellations. Our planets collide, you make midnight look like sunrise. You do. Get out of my head, please. Get out of my head, please. Oh, oh, oh. And whenever I see you, my universe it freezes. My heart beat increases. 'Cause you got stars in your eyes. I know it from the way you make me feel so alive.
We're not messing around today. Let's bag up the ground pork next. I have to talk about these pans all the time because I love them. These are the hex-clad pans. We've had these since January, and Marcus just washed off the meat stuff, scrubbed it up, and look how clean they come. They're beautiful. And they cook so evenly and so nicely. You're not gonna worry about things tasting like whatever it was that you cooked before. So we're not making taco pancakes today, we're just making pancakes, and they're gonna taste like pancakes and not tacos. Isn't that fantastic? But I'll have it down in my description. We love it. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Meatballs are done. I'm gonna let those cool down and then I'll cover them back up and put them in the freezer. I'm kind of debating if I wanna put them in a bag or leave them like that. So on the day of, what I do is I get another pan of sauce, even though I've made one in there. We like it extra saucy. And then I heat them up in the sauce. We have 4 things left, guys. We're not done yet. I hope you're in it to win it. I am. Come on. Coffee to help. Marky to help. Cookie time. I have my KitchenAid and I have a paddle for it. We're going to beat up the butter. And remember, since we're doubling this, we're using a lot of butter. 4 sticks of butter, get ready. And you know, I always say it with me, folks, butter makes it better. I'm gonna let it go for a minute. Get it all squishy wishy. Now we're gonna add in the brown sugar and the granulated sugar that we got together yesterday. And this is gonna go for a good 2 minutes or so. Let's add our 4 eggs. Eggs, molasses, vanilla, all coming in. Whoa. find those guys again. From past experience, I know I need to transfer this over to a very large bowl, and I will do that before I do all of the dry ingredients. Now we're just gonna add the dry. Let's double check that. That's for the oat cookies. Okay. I'm glad I have an apron on. Okay. Now it's gonna get serious. The oats and the chocolate chips. Somebody's not been working out, and I mean, I'm not gonna name any names. I'm not gonna name any names, but it's someone you know. Someone you know has not been working out, and the oats may win the battle. Okay, so we have to let this hang out in the fridge for 45 minutes. It can actually stay in there for up to 4 days, but you want to leave it for like 30 minutes to sit at room temperature, so it's not hard as a rock. Okay. Oh, that was great. Okay. So, due to the chocolate chips being very similar in nature to the ingredients in the oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, I'm not gonna wash the bowl, I'm just gonna leave it as it is, and then go ahead and use what I got. Of course, we're gonna be doing butter again. Butter, here we go. Because butter makes it better. Then we're gonna add on the sugar and the vanilla. Let's add up our flour. No, just kidding.
Whoa.
It's getting crazy. Okay, let's add in the eggs one at a time. And then it's flour time. A little at a time. Chocolate chip time, the best part. I'm using this guy again. Okay, batch number 1 of a million. Dunno bunno. All right, we're not done yet, folks. We have some waffles to make. We got the waffle mix. I don't even know if everything's gonna fit in this bowl. I don't think it is. I do not feel confident that this is all gonna fit in this bowl, but we're just gonna make it happen. So we got the blend. I'm gonna put a bunch of milk. Waffle time. Waffles are still going. Cookies, chocolate chip cookies are done. Let's put together the oatmeal chocolate chip cookies much the same way that you do a regular chocolate chip cookie. You just put it on the tray, put it in the oven, and then you eat it. It's good. Also, halfway through, I switched the pans around. They switched spots because I want to. First round of the oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. We got waffles coming. Oh man. We're gonna be here a while, folks. We're gonna be here a while. Woo, folks, it's getting good. All right, I got pans on the stove. We're gonna make some pancakes. And I'm still using that King Arthur gluten-free baking mix. It's going in. I know that JoJo will be so happy. She loves her pancakes. Whew, folks, we are coming to the end. I do have some more pancakes to make, but look at that stack of pancakes and waffles. I've got some cookies to bag up. We've got the muffins, the chocolate chip cookies. We've got all of the veggies and the meat cooked up, the things portioned out for when we want to make those fresh meals, peppers, meatballs. We're so tired. But look at no dishes. Yes, no dishes. So I'm gonna finish up those last few things. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Let me know what you're up to today, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.